Kim and Pete Davidson are donezo. And I got to say, I was wrong. I thought this was a thing, and I thought that this would carry forward, especially because he got tattoos of her kids on his body. And, you know, it just felt like it was super serious. And I kind of believed this thing was going to last. Didn't.
But I mean, for 9 months, I think 9 months is a lot longer than a lot of people thought was going to happen. And so we learned that the two of them have decided to call it quits. Remember, he's been on Australia a lot. She travels the world. She's raising 4 kids, and it just kind of got too tough for them to keep a relationship. I mean, when we saw them together, it very much felt like honeymoon stages. And I think it's hard to keep that energy, especially if your careers are kind of going in opposite directions.
Now, what do I know? Because I was wrong about it in the first place. However, I will say this, that she was married to Kanye for a decade, and he traveled all over the world, and frankly, so did she. So she's kind of used to that. And to say Pete's in Australia and it's long distance, he's shooting a movie down there, and he's going to come back to the United States when the movie's over. So this was very temporary. So, look, I mean, I have no idea what caused it. Maybe it was a variety of things. It's just hard to believe that this is just about travel schedules, because he would be back in the United States. And frankly, I thought he was going to move to L.A. In fact, I think you and I talked about this.
Eventually, we thought that he would get a place. But it's funny you mentioned Kanye, because he was celebrating this breakup this morning when he went to Instagram.
This is
Remember,
so unbelievable.
we haven't seen him on Instagram in a while like this, and he put up this fake New York Times headline, Skeet Davidson dead at age 28.
Look, there is a little bit of humor in this that I appreciate. I think it's actually, it's harmless, but it's kind of funny.
Harmless, but this is the attitude in the Kanye that back in March got him banned from Instagram, and we know that Kim really had a hard time with these posts. So maybe if he was in her good graces, she sees this, I don't know, maybe that'll revert.
I think it will, only because you guys remember, like, when he was going at Pete hard, and I mean, it was her boo at the time, but I think she was saying more so it was for the kids. Like, it was just very, like, backwards of him to be publicly, like, tearing Pete down, tearing her down, because they have kids. And if his gripes are, I want to do it for the kids, why not be mature about it? So it might take a back step as well. And then as far as the traveling, too, Kim did have a little bit of issues with Kanye. Remember when he wanted to stay on the ranch in Wyoming all the time? She talked about it in the show, how, like, she kind of didn't always want to be there, but he wanted to be there. So eventually they kind of like started spending more time apart because of that. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe the distance thing could be something. She's busy. She has 4 kids.
Yeah. I mean, there is one other thing, though, I want to mention. And, you know, Kanye lost his 5th lawyer on Friday. 5. And she said there was an irretrievable breakdown in the relationship.
We know what that means.
We know exactly
that
what
it means. He has stopped communication. He's continuing to stall this thing. I mean, I think the trial date is set for what, December?
It's set for December, and the judge said, we're going to have a trial, Kanye, and if you refuse to submit the documents for property and custody and everything else, we're going to still have the trial whether you're here or not, and then Kim's going to end up getting exactly what she wants anyway.
Right.
So he does not, you know, when I saw that headline, I kind of thought maybe Kanye was a little bit over it just because we hadn't heard from him in a while. But the headline makes me think.
He's never over it.
Yeah.
Kanye's never over it.
Yeah, I really don't think Kanye is going to be over it. Personally, I believe in body language a lot. And to me, it just seems like Pete is way more into Kim, just based on he's always leaning into her. She's always upright, straight. He's always onto her. So I knew this was coming. Maybe others felt like they were going to stick it out. I just knew that this was going to be happening based on their body language for the entire time they've been together.
God, this reality show, they are not hurting for material.
There is always content.
It's unbelievable.